The collapse is going to be wild.
Sidekick Chris Tyson has quit.
The collapse is going to be wild. Today's video comes from The Quartering, and their channel is linked in the description. Why has Ava Chris Tyson been fired by MrBeast? The allegations leveraged against Chris are jaw-dropping. Keep watching to the end of the video to find out what the allegations against MrBeast's former right-hand person are, and how this is just a precursor for the end of society as we know it.
That's right. Running away from all the claims that have come out. Almost certainly going to be many, many more. I had just finished recording this video, so I'm going to add this as an update to the beginning. I was literally about to publish it live in 10 minutes. Chris Tyson, after a deluge of messages have come out, which you're going to see later in this video, has quit. I would like to apologize for my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. That wasn't my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast. He's fired. He's fired. That's what happened. You weren't mutually deciding jack crap. You got fired. From all things MrBeast and social media, focus on my family and mental health. MrBeast fired you. That's what happened. And you should be. You belong in prison. Several people are saying. I mean, I can't believe you left the comments open. I mean, absolutely, people showing. I mean, MrBeast supports you. Awful behavior. I mean, he's gone. He's out. Absolutely deserved to be fired. I guarantee you more messages are going to come out. I talk about 2 or 3 different ones in this video. So, yeah, leave a like for good riddance to bad rubbish. And let's get into the rest of the video. Well, the MrBeast story is taking a darker turn as more and more youths are coming forward and having messages that they want to share. And this isn't great. This is somebody who is the largest YouTuber in the world. And people who are working for him are saying that it's so bad. Once all of it comes out, then that will be the end for MrBeast. That's what some of these people are reporting. Look, MrBeast, I've got no problem with him, other than he seems to be platforming someone that likes to talk to people who are way not, that he shouldn't be talking to. But this is a big, big story now as more and more people have come out going on here. I'm going to cover this. This is covered from my news outlet, thepublica.com. Always, you should check out the Publica. We have, we're covering a beat that almost no one else does. And I'm really proud of our reporting team. This article is by Lewis Brackpool. MrBeast sidekick, there are claims of bad messages, inappropriate messages. The same thing you see with, obviously, the same thing you saw with Dr. Disrespect. What's going on here, because this is absolutely wild. MrBeast sidekick. Okay. A YouTube star is facing claims of the worst stuff after exchanging text messages with someone they shouldn't have. Chris Tyson, also known as Chris Tyson, Ava Chris Tyson, is MrBeast's longtime sidekick. Since coming out as trans last year, the 28-year-old YouTuber has faced a number of criticisms, many initially expressing concerns about his decision to separate from his wife, despite the couple having a young son. But Tyson is now under even more scrutiny after it was alleged that he exchanged text messages with one or more people he simply should not have been. The claims were first made by Prism42, a YouTuber who uploaded a 43-minute video on the communications online. Prism had reportedly contacted the people he was talking to under the guise of hiring them as a video editor and gathered, quote, evidence against Tyson during their interactions. One of Prism's videos, titled Chris Tyson Talked to Someone He Absolutely Should Not Have Been, did not gain widespread attention at the time of its release. Clips and screenshots from the video began circulating on social media yesterday. One such post calling attention to the claims made by a user of the name of Ma racked up tens of thousands of likes in a span of a few hours. Likely inspired by the engagement Ma received, clips of the Prism42 video were uploaded by Drama Alert. The news about Tyson went viral and rapidly gained global attention. You see this? Chris Tyson, MrBeast sidekick, has been talking to people he shouldn't have been. 2 videos of the last 30 days outlining these types of conversations, including like giving kissy emojis, calling them dad, all this kind of stuff. Just 1 hour after Drama Alert post was made about the claims against Tyson, one of the purported people who had those conversations with him took to X to deny them, saying that these videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes, never took advantage of me, even though, well, many people seem to disagree.
Tyson from MrBeast's allegations are so serious and needs to be talked about. Chris's alleged Twitter activity and interest in certain artwork are in question. Allegedly, Chris interacted on Twitter with a picture of Caillou and his mother. You know what I mean. Chris also had a not of age poster in his living room from an artist that makes unacceptable not of age artwork. There was another alleged Twitter interaction of a post about Dipper and Mabel from Gravity Falls, who are brother and sister. At this moment, Chris has removed all content from Twitter as a result of these allegations. And anyone who claims that similar actions are just jokes, it is never okay to joke about these subjects. In the poster situation, and support for the artist is documented. So there's no way to say that was a joke. Anyone who's used
I worked at MrBeast from February to May of this year, 2024. Chris is the tip of the iceberg. And when Jake the Viking says MrBeast knew, yeah, MrBeast knew. I heard many times that Ava, Chris Tyson, is a major liability, but they can't get rid of her because she's already threatened legal action and she knows too much. And when all this information comes out about everything that she knew, everything other people know, I promise you on everything MrBeast has done. Amazon, if you can get your money back, get your money back.
So, guys, birds of a feather flock together. And the very moment that I started hearing that this stuff was coming out, I immediately thought, yeah, Jimmy did not only know, Jimmy was involved in it. So, but I started following MrBeast, like, I think they're way back at the very, very beginning, or almost the beginning. And back then, Jimmy used to like make certain jokes that were kind of, you know, we're not brand friendly. And I was like, you know, okay, cool, whatever. And I just kind of looked past it. But the stuff they were doing back then and saying back then just would not be tolerated today. And I would not be shocked if Jimmy and his team have already scrubbed a lot of that stuff from his YouTube channel. Because even in some of his earlier videos, there's some jokes in there and some stuff in there that just wouldn't fly today. And you have to understand that Jimmy and Chris, like Chris is like maybe one of his oldest friends, if not his oldest friend. How did Carl end up being a part of the MrBeast team? Let me give you this. Basically, this is my understanding. Jimmy explained it was like, well, you know, what's his name? Jimmy said Chris was like, you know, I really like Carl. You know, he's like, okay. And then he goes, no. I mean, like, I really, really like Carl. And then Jimmy's like, okay, I'll hire him. And that was pretty much it. Like, Chris could get pretty much whatever he wanted from Jimmy. And when I say whatever he wanted, I mean whatever he wanted. Jimmy's money was Chris's money. I've seen videos of people like, oh my gosh, like kids like, oh my gosh, it's MrBeast. And Chris would just, and MrBeast, like Jimmy was not around. And Chris would just like grab cases of money and hand over to these people. Just like that. If you can give away MrBeast's money without even a question, like you just like give people like $5,000, $10,000, just like that. All right. Maybe I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it was a bunch of money. Like he would just give people a bunch of money. Right. And the fact that he could do something like that shows you how close he was to MrBeast, to Jimmy. The fact that he could like say, I want this person hired, shows you how close he was to Jimmy. He is to Jimmy. And birds of a feather flock together. So the types of behaviors that we were seeing from Chris, more than likely Jimmy was involved in these things. He didn't simply know. All right. So Jimmy likely has a history of this type of behavior as well. And what's concerning now is, I mean, maybe he's so large, You know, he'll lawyer up and he'll work quickly to cover it up. Maybe he'll apologize. I don't know how it's going to go down, but there's likely text messages, there's likely screenshots, there's likely tons of stuff out there that is going to identify what, like, Jimmy's role in all of this. Like, we all know what happens with Jared from Subway. You know, there was this whole thing where, like, an employee was doing things he wasn't supposed to do, and then it turns out that Jared was involved in all of it, and now he's in prison, like serving 15 years, and has to serve like a minimum of 13 and a half. Like, you know, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, Jimmy knew what was going on. Jimmy was likely involved in some of this stuff, and I think stuff is going to come out. And again, I'm just speaking through. I'm not saying that it is definitive. I'm just saying, based on what my personal thoughts are, and knowing human psychology, and the fact that this is one of Jimmy's closest friends. All right, if not his closest friend. Okay, he was Jimmy's first employee. And, you know, it's crazy because, like, this guy is just insane. But the thing is, a lot, like, they were very, very immature. Like, Jimmy has had to grow up very quickly, but you have to understand, just because he's a brilliant person does not mean that he's this amazing adult. Like, his content, like, a lot of this stuff, you could see, like, the content was designed very childish, like, just like childish pranks and stuff, and it just ended up taking off. But people often think, like, oh, but this is a huge company. No, it started out as just some goofballs. And now this is where we're at. Like, my gosh, this stuff is so bad. A lot of this stuff is just absolutely so awful that is coming out right now.
FBI is cracking down on voice chat and gaming. They're already monitoring everything you're saying on things like Roblox, Discord, Reddit. Most of y'all probably didn't know this, but you can even get banned from Fortnite.
And you have to think about this as well. Like, this stuff could actually end up catching the attention of law enforcement. We don't actually know, because right now they're cracking down on these apps, they're cracking down on gaming. But you have to remember that Chris was active, especially in, like, MrBeast gaming. He was active in that stuff, a lot of it. So you don't know what conversations he had on these platforms with people that were not of age, if we'll just call it that. This is really, really serious. And, you know, is it the end for MrBeast? Guys, people aren't playing, like, people are not playing around in 2024. People are not possibly 2025. Like, it's like, you just want this year to be over already. And yeah, it's just like so funny. Like, this year has been so funny. There's been so much BS.
He's just fired Chris Tyson after this tweet. This is not a joke. He said, what 6 months of consistent looks magazine could do if you actually try. This is the Chris we all know and love. And this is Christina. Bro. Here's what's gonna get him canceled and removed from MrBeast forever. Watch what this says. Also, this is a great opportunity for those who maybe haven't talked to a trans person to understand. The comments below, mostly from rate and not, are what we face every day for just existing. It's why I don't even.
You see, guys, so he's been doing this for a while. This is absolutely just the begin. Like, there's so much of this crap that Chris has been putting online for a while now. You know, this is just the tip of the iceberg that we're seeing out here. Just the tip of the iceberg. So there's your answer. Ava Chris Tyson was messaging people who are not of age and said some very problematic things. This further leaves us to just wonder what skeletons are currently in Jimmy's closet, MrBeast's closet, as birds of a feather flock together. MrBeast is YouTube's largest creator and has a lot of influence over young people and just people in general. Society will continue to decline as more of these people and their actions come to light and popular figures are dethroned. That will only further accelerate the decline and collapse of our society. Guys, we need to be aware of what's going on, and we need to stay vigilant. Don't let these people fool you into believing like they're virtuous or special. They are absolutely not. So you do not know these people. You do not have a relationship with these people. You don't know what these people have done. And by the way, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts and insights, as well as a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. Click the link in the description to get your free copy of the ebook and also subscribe to the newsletter. What do you guys think about all of this? The collapse is going to be wild. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away and share.